Hi, this is Miss V again. This is video number 2. We're doing area of a sector. So before we do area of a sector, we need to review the area of a circle. So a circle, the area of a circle, first we're going to look at the diameter. Diameter is the distance, is the chord that passes through the center. So this is the diameter, that's 12 inches. The radius is half the diameter, so half of the diameter would be this part here. This is my radius, and that is going to be half of 12, which would be 12 divided by 2. Which equals 6 inches. So my radius is 6 inches. So to find the area, which is the area in here, what is all of this in here? My formula is pi radius squared. So pi r squared. So pi times my radius is 6. So 6 times 6. So you just get your calculator. And we'll do, 6 times 6. So that's 36 pi. So 36 pi, which is 36 times 3.14, because pi is 3.14. So we're going to get 113.04. So 113.04. And this was 6 inches times 6 inches. That gives me 113.04 inches squared. That is my area. That is the area inside all this space in here. Inside the circle is 113.04 inches squared. Okay, so we did this before we left for spring break. So now we're going to go on to the next lesson, which is find the area of a sector. Here. Find the area of a sector. So first we need to define sector. So a sector is a region of a circle formed by the central angle and its intercepted arc. So remember a central angle. Let's go back to review a central angle. So remember a central angle is the angle with the center at the center with this angle at the center. This is a central angle. Remember this? That's a central angle. Okay, so remember if this was 45 degrees, then the arc measurement would be 45 degrees as well. And the whole circle is 360 degrees. All right, so back to our notes. So a sector is the region of a circle formed by the central angle and its intercepted arc. So these are all sectors. So here I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're just pieces of the circle. Each slice of pizza is a sector. So we're just going to pick one because they're all the same. What would this angle measure? So do you remember how to do that? We did this before also. We did the whole circle is 360 degrees and they are broken down to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we do 360 divided by 5. So figure that out. What would you get when you did 360 divided by 5? I'm going to give you a second. You should have came out to 72 degrees each piece of pizza. So this one's 72, 72, 72, 72, 72. And if you do 72 times 5, you should get 360. Yep, and I do. 72 times 5, I get 360. So each piece is 72 degrees. So I want to find out the area of one pizza. So if I want to find the area of the whole circle, I need to do the area equals pi radius squared. But I don't want that equals the whole pizza or the whole circle. I don't want that. I only want 72 degrees of it. So I'm going to do pi r squared. I'm going to do that. But then I'm going to do times. What do I want? I don't want the whole pizza. I don't want the whole pizza. I only want 72 degrees of it. So I'm going to put 72 out of the whole pizza is 360 degrees. So that is going to give me the area of one slice of pie or one slice of pizza, which is called the sector, the area of the sector. So I'm going to do pi times my radius, which is, what is my radius? It tells you here, find the area of one slice of this pizza if the pizza has a diameter of 18 inches. So if the diameter is 18, what would my radius be? Good, it would be 9 because 18 divided by 2 is 9. So the whole thing is 18, half it would be 9. So I'm going to do pi times 9 squared times 72 over 360. And that's going to give me my answer. So I'm going to get my calculator. And I'm going to do 3.14 times 9 times 9, because 9 squared means 2 9s, times 72 equals, and I'm going to do divided by 360, and that's going to give me 50.868, and this was in inches, so 650.868 inches. I'm going to put 50.868 inches. If I was rounding inches squared, because my 9 is inches squared, so inches times inches is inches squared. If I was rounding this to the nearest whole number, I would get 51 inches squared. If I was rounding to the nearest hundredths, I would put 50.87 inches squared, depending on what they want the answer in. Okay, let's do number 2. So here's number 2. Number 2 says, find the area of the following sector. So to find the area of this sector, I have to see what part are they talking about. So they don't have anything shaded, but they do have a piece that is highlighted. It's kind of bolded. So this is the part that they want. They want this piece right here. They want this piece here. So I'm going to say my formula for the area of the sector. For the area of a circle is pi r squared. But do I want the whole circle? I just want this piece. So what degree is that? What measurement of degree is that? It's 270. So I'm going to put 270 over 360. You always do this part if you only want a piece of the circle. I don't want the whole area. I just want this piece here. This piece right here. I don't want the whole circle. I just want this piece. Well, how many degrees is that? It's 270 out of 360. Then I look for my radius. My radius is 13 feet. So I'm going to do pi times 13 feet times 13 feet times 270 divided by 360. Then you get your handy dandy calculator. And you figure out what it is. 3.14 times 13 feet times 13 feet times 270 divided by 360. And that's your answer, 397.99. So I'm going to round this to the nearest whole number. So I'm going to get 398 feet squared. And when you take your quiz, you need to multiply everything again just to make sure. So I'm going to do 3.14 times 13 times 13 times 270 divided by 360, 397.99, so 398 feet squared. All right, let's do number 3. So again, for number 3, it says find the area of the following sector. So once I see sector, I know that means piece. So I look, what piece do they want? Well, this is the piece that's shaded. So I want this piece. I don't want the whole circle. I only want this piece right here. Well, how many degrees is that? Well, this says it's 60 degrees. And remember the central angle is right here. So the central angle and the measurement of the arc is the same. We learned that a couple of weeks ago. So this is 60 degrees. So it's 60 degrees. So I'm going to put 60 out of, what is it? 60 out of, great, 360. You're always going to put the degree out of 360. And then my formula for area of a sector is pi r squared. So I don't want, this is the area of a circle, but I don't want the whole circle. I only want this piece. So this makes it the area of the sector. So pi times 18 inches times 18 inches times 60 divided by 360. Then you multiply in your calculator. I'm going to give you a second to multiply that out. 3.14 times 18 times 18 times 60 divided by 360 is 169.56. So 169.56. Depending on what they tell you to round to, if they tell you to round to the nearest whole number, then you would have 170 inches squared. Okay, let's do the last problem here. The last problem on this section. Right here. Okay, so this one says the same thing. Find the area of this sector. Well, I want this piece over here because see how it's highlighted on this side? So I want this piece here. That's a big sector. That's a big piece of pie right there. This whole piece right here. It's almost the whole thing. It's almost the whole area, but it's not. It's missing this piece. So I need to find out how many degrees is out here. I know this is 45. So what's this piece out here? Well, a whole circle is how many degrees? Yep, good job, 360 degrees. So I'm going to do 360 minus 45. So what is that? Let me give you a chance to figure that out. 360 minus 45 degrees. Good job, it's 315 degrees. So this is 315 degrees. Get that? 315 degrees. So that's the part I want. I don't want the whole circle. I just want 315 degrees of it. So I'm going to do pi r squared, but I don't want the whole circle. I only want 315 degrees. So I'm going to put times 315 out of, good job, 360. So pi, and my radius is right here, 14 inches. So 14 inches times 14 inches times 315 out of 360 because I want to find the area, but I don't want the whole area, so I have to put 315 out of 360. So use your calculator. 3.14 because that's pi times 14 times 14 times 315 divided by 360, and you should have gotten 538.51 inches squared. Area is always going to be inches squared. Okay, but you got that? Okay, so that's the first part of the assignment. The second part of the assignment is just using algebra. Just like Monday's assignment, we have to do some algebra with this. Okay, so this one says, all right, so now we will find the measure of an angle given the radius and the area of the sector. We will need to use our algebra skills just like Monday's lesson. So if the area of the sector, or the sector area is 332.84 centimeters squared. So that's the area already. So that's the answer. We were just finding this. What is the closest value of the angle measure? So now I need to find this angle. This is theta. Remember we talked about that a long time ago. That's just a symbol. That's theta. So see how it's highlighted on this part? So I want to find this area. I don't want the whole thing. I only want that area. So I need to write the formula. So it's pi r squared times theta, right? I'm just going to put x over 360. But I know that that equals this. This is the area. That equals 332.84 centimeters squared. So I don't know this degree. So I'm going to solve it. It's not hard. Just look, watch. Okay, so I'm going to substitute pi 3.14 times my radius. My radius is 12. So put 12 centimeters times 12 centimeters times x divided by 360 equals 332.84 centimeters squared. So now I'm going to multiply. I'm going to do all of this and divide by 360. I can do this because there's no addition symbols. If there was an addition or subtraction symbol, you should not do this way. So since there is no addition or subtraction, I can just multiply all that. So I'm going to do 3.14 times 12. Let me start. 3.14. So you guys do that. 3.14 times 12 times 12 divided by 360. Times 12 times 12 divided by 360. That gives me 1.256. I'm going to write 1.256x, because I can't forget my x, equals 332.84 centimeters squared. Well, I forgot to put my centimeters squared. Centimeters squared. I'm going to divide by 1.256 centimeters squared because I need to solve for x. So I'm multiplying, so I do the inverse operation, which is division. So that goes away. I'm left with x equals, and I divide on here, 1.256. So divide 332.84 divided by 1.256, and you get 265 degrees. 265, and our centimeters cancel, and I know that I want the theta, which is my degree, so I'm going to put my degree symbol. So this is 265 degrees. And if I want to check my work, I can plug 265 degrees. I can plug this. I could plug it in here and check it. So I'm going to do 3.14. I'm going to plug it in just to check my work. 3.14 times my radius, which is 12, times 12, and then times my answer, 265 degrees divided by 360, and you should get 332.84 meters squared. And that's what we got. So we got the right answer. That's how you can check your work. Okay, let's do number 2 on this one. Okay, guys, ready? All right, so if the area of the sector, so it says if the area, so the area of the sector is, so that's my answer already. They're giving you the answer. The area of the sector is 709.22 feet squared. What is the value of the angle measured to the nearest degree? So I want this, okay, so here's where they highlighted. So that means I want this area only. I do not want this area. I want this area. Well, they gave me this area. I want theta. I want this measure right here. So I'm going to do my formula. So it's going to be pi r squared times the degree, which we don't know. It's theta, but I'm going to use x over 360 equals, when I do all this, gives me the area, and it tells me the area, see the area is 709.22. So that is my answer, 709.22. When I multiply my degree times all this divided by 360, I'm going to get 709.22. So I'm solving for x. So I'm going to plug in my number. So 3.14 times my radius, which is 22, times 22. I'm going to leave the units off just so it doesn't confuse you. So 3.14 times 22 times 22 times x over 360 equals 709.22. Okay, so here's my x. There's no addition, there's no subtraction, it's just multiplication, division. So I can do all of this first. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to give you a minute to do that, and I'm going to do it also. Multiply 3.14 times 22 times 22, and then divide by 360. So 3.14 times 22 times 22 divided by 360. What did you guys get? to get 4.22, 1555. We'll just round to nearest hundredths, so it would be 4.22. So we get 4.22 x equals 709.22. Okay, now we got to get x by itself, so we use our algebra skills. How do we get x by itself? It's being multiplied by 4.22, so we do the opposite, or the inverse operation would be to divide by 4.22. That gives me x equals divide by 4.22. So you divide 709.22, so you guys try it. 709.22 divided by 4.22. You should have gotten 168.06. It says round to the nearest degree. So is it closer to 168 or 169? Good, it would be 168 degrees. So my final answer is 168 degrees. So x equals 168 degrees. So let's check it real quick. So to check it, all I do is I'm going to put my degree into here. Right, so I'm going to say 3.14 times my radius, which is 22, times 3.14 times 22 times 22, and then times my x, which was 168, and then divided by 360. There it goes, 709.22. So the area matched up, so we did it correct. Put a check mark. Good job, guys. Okay, last one. Last one. If the area of this sector is 55.8 meters squared, what is the value of the angle measured to the nearest degree? Okay, last time. So it wants, or it's giving you the area of this sector right here. The way you know is because it's highlighted. See how it's highlighted like this? That's how it will be on your assignment. It'll be highlighted. So it wants this piece here. It doesn't care about this piece. It just wants this piece, or it's giving you this piece. It's saying that the area here is 55.8 meters squared. So the area is 55.8 meters squared. That's the area of this piece. So the formula for the area of a circle is pi r squared, but I don't want the whole circle. I only want this piece, so I'm going to put x over 360. And then we solve it. We use our algebra skills. So we're going to put 3.14 times my radius. My radius is, what is it? Good, it's 8. 8 times 8. I'm not going to put the units so it doesn't confuse you. 8 times 8 times x over 360 equals 55.8. Then I do all of this right here. Do all this math right here. So let's see what you get. Use your calculator. 3.14 times 8 times 8. 3.14 times 8 times 8. Then divided by 360. What did you guys get? Good. Did you get 0.558222? So I'm going to put 0.56 for mine. 0.56. I'm going to round to the nearest hundredths. 0.56. All right, so then I'm going to do x equals, I'm going to finish 55.8. Then we keep going. What is the next step? How do I get x by itself? I'm multiplying by 0.56, so I'm going to do the inverse operation, which is division. The inverse of multiplication is division. I'm going to do the inverse on this side. What you do on one side, you have to do the other side. So I'm left with x equals, so what is 55.8 divided by 0.56? So you guys, 55.8 divided by 0.56 equals 99.6. So rounded to a nearest degree. Is that closer to 99 or 100? Good, it's closest to 100 degrees. So x equals 100 degrees. So I'm going to check it. It's a good thing for you to do when you have your quiz or your test. You check your answers. I'm going to plug this 100 degrees into right here. Or not going to do it right here. Okay, so I'm going to check it. I'm going to make sure that I should get 55.8. So let's try it. 3.14 times 8 times 8 times 100 equals divided by, oops, I'm going to do mine again. I'll give you a minute to do it. Times 8 times 8 times 100 and divided by 360. And yep, I got 55.82. See my calculator, 55.82. So then we did this one correct. So that's a good idea to check your answers on your quiz that you're taking. Okay, and that's it. Go log on to Canvas. And if you need to work a couple more examples, you can. And you can take your quiz on Canvas. Thank you. Bye.